We had the best moment at Autosport International where within 20 minutes of opening on one of the days, we sold 8 printers to one person. If you're wanting to sell printers or print service, don't go to a 3D printing event.
The larger shows attend. The smaller shows exhibit.
Like, a lot of the time, people go to these shows to try and make money. And everywhere that I've been has told me you will not earn money at a trade show. And every experience I've had up until Formnext has been you will not earn money at a trade show. And it's a hard pill to swallow because old industry loves their shows. They love the in-person, They love seeing it, they love touching, but it doesn't earn money. I've never earned a penny that has been like profit from a trade show. We've only ever lost money. And it's because you need to stop looking at trade shows as money generators, like certain industries does it work for, but not us. You need to look at it as either validation or like networking, like talking to people in person. That's what it's for.
Yeah, the big thing with trade shows is booths for small businesses are a waste of money unless you have a lot of people going. So Formnext was the perfect example of this. We went to the big booths, right? We were at Farsoon's booth. Farsoon had over $1 million of equipment at that booth.
Oh, easy.
Over $1 million.
Easy.
Well, they had a functioning metal printer at their booth. So it was $1 million, right? It was $1 million. Also, hi, fans at Farsoon. We had no idea that Farsoon watches the podcast, but hi, guys. I had a fun meeting with the marketing director person, and we might be seeing you soon. Yeah, like when you're a big company that can afford big trade shows, do them. But when you're a small company, you can't always afford those big trade shows because what? A booth is going to cost you 10, 15, 20,000, right? They're
what, a small show or a Formnext?
A Formnext, right?
No, more. 15,000 is nowhere even close.
Really?
15,000 is a small show in the UK.
Huh.
Formnext, we're looking at 50 to 80,000.
See, this will be a question that I have to ask Luke from Luke's Lab, because he split a booth, and I'd be very curious to.
And it was a very small booth. It wasn't even a hard shell booth.
The big thing with small business, and even if you're at a big business and you're debating, do I want to go? Do I want to go? Do I want to go? Yes, you want to go. No, you don't want a booth. You just want to go. You want to go. You want to walk the floor. Okay. The big thing.
I think that also answers Rara's question in the chat of, as a small business owner, is being an attendee worthwhile?
100%. So here's the problem with having a booth. If you are a small business and want to have a booth, you are missing the opportunities to go out and talk to everybody else. You are reliant on the fact that exhibitors and attendees are going to find your booth, get you at the right time, and then talk to you. You are reliant on all of that. And, well, if you're a small company, you're not going to have luck. And you might, okay, to be clear, that's much more of a, only Sith steal and absolutes kind of thing. But I think you will have significantly less luck than if you just walked around and went to the exhibitors that you wanted to see. Now, here's the fun problem, right? That can't always work. It can't always work because at some point, the big companies have booths and they've made a financial decision that these booths are worthwhile for them. If you are going to launch a new product, a booth might be worth it, but dedicate at least 1 or 2 people to run that booth while you are going out and talking to other people. And you might say, but Grant, that's expensive. Yes, it is. It is very expensive, but that's okay. there's this fun problem with small business, which is you need marketing, but you don't have the money for it. You need
Yep.
time to do the marketing, which you don't have either.
But you don't have time for it.
So how do you effectively solve this problem?
Hard to say. I can't say that I've done it correctly, because
No,
I haven't.
I haven't.
What I can say is what trade shows have done great for us is brand recognition and basically litmus testing. Like when we take a show, we can test our sales pitch directly to people. We can show off the machine and we can see those initial reactions that normally you never get to see because they're behind a web screen or behind a YouTube video. They're not in-person reactions. So having an in-person reaction is very valuable for trying to determine what price point you go at, what marketing spiel do you do, how do you do the spiel, like what is the sellability of the machine once you are trying to sell it. And that is almost as valuable as everything else.
Yeah.
Because you can't pay for that. You can't pay to bring people in and be like, oh, this is what I think about the machine. Oh, I'm going to try this sales pitch on you. Like, you can only do it. So seeing trade shows more as like a marketing training tool, I'd agree with that. Marketing as training.
Yes.
That's a good investment.
Yes. No, absolutely. That is a worthwhile long-term investment. But when do you start?
I don't think it's worth it.
Right? When do you start?
I'd say you start when you have a solidified brand. Once you have a brand you want to start building recognition for, that's when trade shows are good, because you can do it in person, do everything like that. Obviously YouTube helps as well, and all social media presence helps, but really having a presence in the field allows people to know you exist. It will not make sales. These type of things don't make sales. What they do is you start getting brand recognition. You can check like, what do people think of it? It's basically social engineering. And all of that social engineering when it comes to a trade show is stuff that normally you either have to intuit or guess. And trade shows allow you to get validation.
I would say that, so like Luke had it right, where he was able to leave his booth for a bit and walk around. For us as content creators, getting through to the right people in the companies is very, very difficult. Very difficult. But when you go to shows, the right people are there. And you don't have any of these in-between people that you have to work through. So like, great example. I've been trying to work with Artec, right? We really want to work with Artec 3D. It took me 6 months to get through to the right people. It took 5 minutes at FormNext because the right person was there. And so like, that's part of the thing that I think really exists with these shows, is if you are trying to make the connections, if you are selling a printer, if you are selling a service, if you are trying to build connections, having a booth doesn't work. If you're trying to just show off, a booth works great.
I mean, the proof is Farsoon. It was, you were able to get that meeting with Farsoon because you saw them and you got the contact right there. If you were trying to do that manually, it would have taken you months.
Shane says, so for smaller manufacturers, what's better? One large show like FormNext, or do you go to, say, 3 to 5 smaller shows for companies trying to get a foothold in the market? Which is the better investment? So that's a great question. And I think that
I have answers for that one.
The answer is it depends. The answer is it always depends. And the reason that it depends is who are the shows bringing in? What are the people? No. I disagree.
Wrong.
If you're going to the
size of the company massively affects it, because don't do a massive trade show if you only have one product, because the cost will be the same if you have one product or a dozen products that you can fit within the same space. when you're starting out, the smaller shows you can generally get so much more cheaper, even free. Because a lot of these shows, last minute, will have people drop out where they just can't make the logistics. You can go in and be like, hey, I can fill your empty slot. Just let us pay for the electricity and you're in. We've done that a load of times.
But that would exist.
And that allows you to be at a show.
That would exist regardless. So, like,
if you get bigger, they wisen up on it because it looks more like they're helping upstarts and they're more willing to do it. A show like Formnext, however, if I was only selling Construct 1, not even the XL, but Construct 1, it wouldn't be worth it. Because the bigger catchment area, the higher upfront cost, it's not going to build brand recognition because that's a trickle thing. And it's not going to be able to sell the product very well. But if, say, I sold Construct 1, a maintenance package, a printing service, all of these things without needing another machine, then it starts to become worth it. Because now you're hitting different market segments at one show.
Okay. I can understand that. And that's fair. But I think the target audience for the show is way more important than the show itself. So we have Soft Week here in Tampa, Special Operations Forces, SOF. So Soft Week, the thing with Soft Week is that if you are not trying to sell to the military, you shouldn't be there. And I don't necessarily care if it was free. Or if it's, I mean, that's a bigger show, but work with me here. You need to look at the people that will be there, right? A Formnext, if you're a service bureau, if you're a 3D Musketeers, exhibiting at Formnext is dumb. There's no reason for you to be exhibiting at Formnext. None. You should be going to the Rep Rap festivals. You should be going to the smaller shows. That guy Opossum is asking, so are there that many events and shows in the US? If so, where can someone find these events? This is your other problem. The events, generally speaking, are terrible at marketing themselves if they don't have a massive marketing budget. So, like, you've got 3D Printtopia, Rocky Mountain Rep Rap Fest, Midwest Rep Rap Fest. You've got Rapid TCT. You've got... Those are just like 3D printing ones. What else do you have in the States? You have the Maker Fairs.
No, actually, here's a piece of advice. Straight up, the best piece of advice I'll give this entire stream. If you're wanting to sell printers or print service, don't go to a 3D printing event. Do not do it. Straight up. Every sale we've made for a trade show was never at a 3D printing event. We went to Advanced Engineering. We've gone to Autosport International. That was one of the best. Autosport International in the UK. Obviously, change whatever the name is to your local version of it. But it was a car event where there's people with money, people who want technology, and they have the means and the drive to try and make something cool. They just don't know they need a 3D printer. We had the best moment at Autosport International where within 20 minutes of opening on one of the days, we sold 8 printers to one person. Straight away. We've never done that at a 3D printing trade show. And it's that saying of, what was it? It wasn't, I don't think it was McLaren. No, it was Bentley. Bentley stopped going to car shows and they started going to yacht shows because
people
anyone
that own
at a car
yachts
show
are
knows
going to
what
buy
a Bentley
Bentleys.
is. And then they go to a yacht show. No one at a yacht show is selling cars.
Oh, Open Source.
They have a captive market at selling vehicles at a boat show. No one else did that. And every time even when we go to Advanced Engineering, which is a show about advanced engineering,
I would have never guessed that one.
4 or 5 companies there that do 3D printers, and 3 of them were sales as service. They weren't doing the machines, they were renting them. It was a captive audience. It was fantastic.
Yeah, so
don't make the mistake that a dedicated show is supposed to be for you. It can be, but dedicated shows also have overcrowding. when you all do the same things and you overlap.
As a small business, the larger shows attend. The smaller shows exhibit. I think that's, and you draw your line at finances, right? Can you financially afford the big shows and be able to walk around them? If you can't, then don't do them. The small shows, like a 3D Printopia, right? A 3D Printopia, that will be a small enough show that if you have two people, one person can man the booth while the other one goes and walks around. As a small business, totally acceptable. A Formnext, two people, not enough. 4 minimum.
Nope.
You'll need
definitely
two people to go walk around while two people man the booth. And if you don't have that capability, then just go and exhibit and learn. What you will learn from how you see companies doing things, whether you see them doing things right or doing things wrong, is incredibly important. I guess what you have to do is look at it and say, how much money are you willing to spend as a test? How much money are you willing to spend?
It's pissing it into the wind
as a test. Yeah.
If you're happy to piss it in the wind and maybe get a bit of splashback, do it. That's it. That's literally all I can say. Do not do it with the intent to earn money. Do not do it with the intent, unless like your goal is to just vibe check. Just don't consider it. Like, do it for other reasons. Don't do it for, I want money, I want return on investment, I want business growth, I want all of this. No, it's not gonna work. And it sucks to say that, because I wished it would work, because I've spent a lot of money in it. But I cannot, with honest conscience, after doing what I've done for as long as I've done it, say that trade shows are worth it.
I think in some instances they can be. You have to do it correctly. And a lot of small businesses simply don't. They don't have the finances to do it properly. They can't just blow 50 grand on a booth plus design plus and know they're going to get an ROI unless you have a use it or lose it budget. But that doesn't happen with small business. I think it makes sense to attend. Like if I was talking to your business partner, aka your mom, about Formnext. I wanted to debrief her on Formnext myself, because what she will hear from you versus what she hears from me are going to be different things,
different perspectives.
And she said,
"You see different things. I see different things."
She said to me, "Do you think we should exhibit?" I said, "No, not your first year." Well, Jacob went. He did, but that's different. Jacob going and you going are two very different things. The both of you should be attending. If you can, partner with a company. Partner with a bond tech to put a printer with maybe a tool changer on it at their booth to show it off. Great. And you pay a little bit to make that happen. That is much more valuable for you guys than it would be to have your own booth spending tens of thousands of British pounds and then realize, oh crap, there's only like, I would say 3 of us, but your dad still has a messed up leg, so it's 2.5. 2.5 of us. And it doesn't make sense for you guys because you don't have the staffing ability to make it functional.
As I've said before, it would be dangerous to do it if it was only 2 of us.
Yep.
You need at least 4 people for these type of shows. 1 for relief, 1 for aid, and 2 for doing the show.
as my car only has 2 of its 4 gears currently, the alternator doesn't work, the battery doesn't charge. I've got a Christmas tree worth of lights on my dash, all because the road was flooded when I was going home.
Oh.
Fun times.
Oh. Well, at least you have 2 gears. I now have 0.
Is your car broken?
Nope. It's an electric. It doesn't have gears.
Oh, well. Yeah, that's fair. I have to drive it automatic like a manual. It's fun.
I've actually ruined myself. I really like it.
Yes.
I really like the new car.
Electric cars are a lot of fun.
I'm now very afraid of it because of what happened last night.
What did you do?